You're listening to Short History Shorts audio, where history speaks louder than images. In the shadows of early Mediterranean history, two powerful, yet often underappreciated civilizations forged a complex and fluctuating relationship, Carthage and the Etruscans. Both flourished before the rise of Rome, both controlled vital maritime networks, and both left enduring legacies despite ultimately falling to external conquest. Their interactions, sometimes cooperative, sometimes confrontational, reveal the shifting balance of power in the Western Mediterranean during the first millennium BC. Carthage, a Phoenician colony founded around 814 BC, and the Etruscans, a confederation of city-states in central Italy, first encountered each other not as rivals, but as natural partners. In an age where the Greeks were aggressively colonizing the Western Mediterranean, establishing footholds in southern Italy, Sicily, and the French coast, both Carthage and Etruria had reasons to align. The Etruscans, skilled in metalworking, agriculture, and seafaring, saw Carthage as a powerful trade partner and strategic buffer against Greek expansion. Meanwhile, Carthage viewed Etruria as a useful ally in containing Greek ambitions and securing access to the Tyrrhenian and Ligurian seas. Archaeological finds affirm this early alliance. Etruscan goods, ceramics, bronzework, and weaponry have been uncovered in Punic sites in North Africa, Sardinia, and Sicily. Likewise, Carthaginian artifacts appear in Etruscan tombs, especially in cities like Cerveteri and Tarquinia. These shared goods reveal more than commerce. They suggest mutual respect and active diplomacy. Joint naval operations between the two powers were not uncommon. According to ancient sources, including Justin and Diodorus Siculus, Carthage and the Etruscans cooperated in several naval engagements to check Greek influence, particularly in Sicily and Corsica. The most famous example occurred in 535 BC at the Battle of Alalia, off the coast of Corsica, where a combined Etruscan-Carthaginian fleet clashed with Phocian Greeks, who had settled the island. Although the Greeks claimed a tactical victory, they were strategically expelled from Corsica, and Carthaginian Etruscan control over western trade routes remained intact. This victory cemented their naval supremacy in the central and western Mediterranean for decades. Yet this alliance was never immune to the pressures of geography, competition, and ambition. Both Carthage and the Etruscans were expanding maritime powers. Their spheres of influence, especially in Sardinia, Corsica, and the Tyrrhenian coast, often overlapped. As Carthage solidified its grip over Sardinia and southern Corsica, tensions with Etruscan cities on the Italian mainland grew. In the 6th and 5th centuries BC, cracks in the alliance began to appear. The Etruscans were dealing with internal fragmentation and growing pressure from Gallic tribes in the north. Carthage, on the other hand, was ascending, consolidating its colonial possessions and beginning to exert dominance over the Western Phoenician world. As Carthage evolved from a trading outpost into a powerful thalassocracy, a sea-based empire, it could afford to press its advantage. Some scholars suggest that Carthage even encouraged instability in Etruscan coastal cities, undermining their influence while expanding its own commercial networks. By the 4th century BC, the relationship had effectively shifted from one of equality to one of Punic primacy. The Etruscans, once dominant in northern Italy and the seas, were in retreat, hemmed in by the rising power of Rome to the south and Carthage to the west. While direct military conflict between Carthage and Etruria remains sparsely documented, the geopolitical reality had changed. Etruria became less a partner and more a secondary player in Carthaginian strategy. The transformation from allies to indirect rivals was largely due to strategic evolution rather than open hostility. Carthage increasingly focused on its conflicts with the Greeks in Sicily and its eventual titanic struggle with Rome. The Etruscans, for their part, found themselves drawn into Rome's orbit, sometimes in resistance, sometimes in reluctant alliance. In a twist of fate, Rome, the once insignificant Latin upstart, would become the death knell for both civilizations. During the early Punic Wars, the Etruscans had already been subdued or absorbed by Rome. Their once great cities now served Roman interests, and their fleets, such as they remained, were under Roman command. Carthage, though still powerful, found itself without old allies in Italy as it faced the full might of Rome in a contest for supremacy. Ironically, Carthage and Etruria, two powers that had once shared the sea, had both contributed to Rome's rise by weakening Greek hegemony and stabilizing Western trade. Their alliance had reshaped the Mediterranean and delayed Hellenic dominance, yet neither could predict that Rome, using lessons learned from both, would surpass and destroy them. The legacy of their alliance lingers in unexpected places: Punic-style amphorae in Etruscan ruins, Etruscan writing in North African tombs, shared coinage patterns and shipbuilding techniques, all evidence of a once thriving diplomatic and cultural relationship. Carthaginian naval technology may have influenced Etruscan ship design, and vice versa. Religious syncretism also occurred, with Punic deities occasionally appearing in Etruscan art and temple dedications. In myth as in history, the echoes remain. Some Roman writers, reflecting on the fall of Carthage and the decline of the Etruscans, hinted at a lost age when other powers ruled the seas, powers that were cunning, ambitious, and worldly. In the ruins of their partnership, one finds not merely the remnants of trade agreements or battle plans, but the complex dance of two civilizations navigating a world in flux. They were allies when it suited them, enemies when necessity demanded it, but always participants in a shared Mediterranean story that would eventually be rewritten by Roman conquest. Their connection, forged in both cooperation and competition, deserves a central place in our understanding of the ancient world, not as footnotes to Rome's rise, but as players in their own right, whose choices and strategies shaped centuries of Mediterranean history.